All right, let's go ahead and look at this problem. So it says solve. So we know that we're going to solve this quadratic. I am going to make sure, step number 1, that my equation is set equal to 0. I have a 0 here, so I'm like, good, step 1 is done. Step 2 is I am going to factor this left side. So remember, anytime we're factoring, step 1 is to check if there is a greatest common factor I can divide out. Between x squared, 9x, and 20, I can't divide anything out. So then I look. It has 3 terms, so I am going to try my t-chart. I'm going to multiply the first term times the last term. Remember, this has a 1 in front. 1 times 20 is 20 and goes at the top, and then the middle number always goes at the bottom. So I'm trying to find 2 numbers that multiply to 20 and add to 9. So I'm going to do my factors of 20. 1 times 20, 2 times 10, and 5 times 4. Well, 5 times 4 gives me 20, and they add to 9, so I'm going to choose those. Next step is I'm going to rewrite this quadratic, bring down the x squared, and I'm going to break up this middle term into plus 5x. Don't forget the x, plus 4x, and then drop down this plus 20, and then you can just set it equal to 0. All right, it's called grouping, so I group the first 2, I group the second 2. Between x squared and 5x, the only thing they have in common is an x. I'm going to put that on the outside of my parentheses and go through and divide each of these guys by x. X squared divided by x leaves me with x. 5x divided by x leaves me with a 5 because the x's cancel. And I do the same thing for the next parenthesis. So between 4x and 20, I can divide out a 4. Make sure you put the plus 4 here. 4x divided by 4 gives me just an x. 20 divided by 4 leaves me with a 5. And again, it's still set equal to 0. Now my parentheses are the same, so I can go ahead and factor that out and write it once. And then my leftovers are in the second parenthesis. And again, it's still equal to 0. Okay, all of that part should be reviewed. Here's the new step. Then I am going to set each factor equal to 0. So I'm going to take x plus 5 and set that equal to 0. And I'm going to take the second parenthesis, x plus 4, and set that equal to 0. I'm going to solve each of these separately. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So here, x is equal to negative 5. Here, I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, so my x value is equal to negative 4. It said solve, so I can stop right here, but if it asks you to find the roots, a lot of times we're going to write those as points. So just remember the roots would be negative 5, 0, and negative 4, 0. Again, it's the x value, so it's telling you to put it in the x place because we write a point x comma y. All right, if y'all have any questions, come find me. If not, I will see y'all in the next one.